Hey, so in this video, I'll show you how to connect ChatGPT to Airtable without using any third-party tools. Like you ask questions in ChatGPT, for example, this one, and it provides you the answer. You can directly ask questions inside Airtable. You can have multiple rows of questions, and it will provide answers in the next column for all the rows that you have. So let's see how to do that. So as you can see that I do not have any Airtable base. So at first I need a base. So you can start with AI, start with templates, or you can upload your CSV files. But I will start from scratch here. Let's click on it and we will help you put together the key parts of your project, but I'll skip that. I just want the Airtable blank table and I'll start from here. So when you first start it, this is how it looks. I do not have any data, and let me cancel it. Let me close the view as well. Let me close this as well. Actually, I'll be importing this dummy data, the meeting data, meeting title, date, attendees, raw meeting notes, and action items. So let me copy that. This is what I'll do, add or import. There are more sources, and I'll say paste table data. So I'll just paste it, and then it detects everything. For example, you can see that meeting title, date, attendees, and this and this. Import pasted data. Create a new table. Okay, yes. And yes, everything is all right. And it's imported. You can see that I have meeting title, date, and attendees, raw meeting notes, and action items. So I'll rename it something like meeting notes. So I have only one table called meeting notes, and this is the data. Now you need to install an extension called scripting extension. So click on the extensions, then add an extension, and then either you can click on here, a scripting, or just search for the scripting extension, and this is it. You can just click on this add button and it will get added. So for this, you need a script that calls the ChatGPT or OpenAI API in the background and gives you the answers directly inside Airtable. So for that, I'll be using this script. This is a multi-AI Airtable script, and it has OpenAI, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, XAI, DeepSeek, and more models added here. There is a video, you can watch it. So I'll be using that. And when you get the script, you receive this Notion documents, and here you have all the scripts ready to use. For example, OpenAI and so on. In this case, I'm using OpenAI, so I'll click on it, and then I can just copy the script from this button, and let's go here, delete the existing scripts, and then just paste the script that you copied. And you can see that the fields appeared, so you can cancel it and then click on this finish editing button, and then you can see that in the sidebar you have the options here. So let's fill in all the required details and then we can move forward. Pick a table. So meeting notes, this is the only table which is shown in the drop down. The view name. So the view name is either shown here, grid view, or when you click on this views button, it will be shown here, grid view. So you will have to write exactly as it is, grid view. And now it asks enter prompt names. So how does AI work? You need to give it a prompt, right? When you go to ChatGPT, this was my prompt. So when I asked a question and then it provided the answer. So you need to have the question or the prompt inside Airtable. So I'll create a new field here and I'll use all these data inside the field, and then we will ask the question to AI. So I'll create a formula field here. I can name it something like prompt. So this is how you write the formula. When you are writing some normal text, you have to wrap it inside double quotes like this. For example, summarize meeting notes. And then when you are adding dynamic fields, you'll have to write an and, because you are concatenating this text with the dynamic fields. So you'll have to write curly braces like this. And then when you write, you'll see the drop down here and you can select any field from here. For example, meeting title, you can just select it. And when you create field, you'll notice that the prompt is created, summarize meeting notes, and then this meeting title is showing here. and website redesign is the meeting title here. So when you see the prompt, it will say website redesign. But this is a very simple prompt and we need to make it, for example, I need to add a space here and then I need to add some more text. Then I'll write another and this symbol and then another double quotes based on more details, something like this. I can add more space here and then again some dynamic data, maybe raw meeting notes or something like that. I'm just showing you how it works. So when you check it, this is how it looks. Summarize meeting notes, Q2 marketing strategy based on more details. And this is the summer campaign focus trees, which is coming from raw meeting notes. So now that you understand how to write the formula for the prompt, I already have written a detailed prompt, which I'll just copy and paste here. So as you can see that I have included a lot of information in the prompt. You are an expert meeting assistant. Summarize the following raw meeting notes into a clean and professional summary. Write a brief paragraph summarizing the main discussion points in a natural tone. Then list the action items clearly under a heading action items, each starting with a bullet point. Maintain a formal but easy to read style. Fix any grammar or shorthand issues find in the raw notes. Do not invent new information. Only use details provided in the notes. Meeting title, this slash n that you see, the backslash n, is for the new lines because I want the meeting title to appear in the new line. So I have added double slash n. And then somewhere you will find the single slash n just for one line break. So yeah, date time format I can provide in a specific format. For example, this is month, date, and year. Attendees, and these are the dynamic data that you see in the curly braces. And when I save it, you can see that if I open any one of the prompts that got generated, this is the prompt. You are an expert meeting assistant and so on. All the data like meeting title, which is coming from this column, attendees from the next columns, raw meeting notes, action items, and so on. So now we have unique prompts for all the rows that we have, and we can pass this prompt to ChatGPT or OpenAI in this case, and then ask it to generate the output or to summarize the meeting notes. So for that, we will need another blank column, right? So for that, I'll use this long text field and I'll name something like summarized notes. And we have a blank field here. So when you move next, it says enter prompt field names. So in this case, we have only one prompt, which is named as prompt. So I have written that. And for that prompt field, I want the output in the summarized notes field. So I'll write summarized notes. And then you need the OpenAI API key. To get the API, you need to visit this URL, platform.openai.com/API keys, and you'll have to generate a API key. But I already have the API key, so I'll just copy and paste the API here. This is my API key, but keep it private because if anyone uses your API, you will be charged for that. So I'll delete the API key after the video. Select the OpenAI model. The latest model is GPT 4.1. So you can use that, or you can select any other model. For example, 4.0, O3, O4 mini, O1, etc. But for most tasks, GPT 4.1 is the best. And then temperature. So the temperature decides how creative or predictable the response is. Generally, I have noticed that 0.7 works the best. The output is generally balanced and it's good. So the max token, it controls how long outputs you want. So generally, 100 tokens are equal to 75 words in English language. But it doesn't matter a lot actually. Even if you put your max tokens to 1000, your output can still be under 100 or maybe 75 or just 10 words. So most of the time I just put 1000 here and it works. Enter system prompt. So if you want the model, the AI model that we are using here to have a character, or if you want to set a specific tone for that, you can just mention in the system prompt here. But in this case, I'll just mention that be precise Yeah, be precise. And something like use simple language, do not use uncommon words and phrases, right? This can be the system prompt. And everything is ready. When I click on this run button, it should generate the output. So let's test it. It says processing records, processing row this, which is, yeah, it's generating the output. Let me stop it and let's check the output first. So it says the team met to discuss Q2 marketing strategy with a focus on the upcoming summer campaign centered around trees. They addressed the need to increase TikTok activity to 2 posts per day and discussed requesting an additional $200 for the TikTok budget. The group noted delays in receiving ad design ideas and slow ad approval process. Action items: John to finalize ad creatives, Sarah to draft TikTok post ideas, and Mike to revise the budget proposal. So this is very detailed. Let me generate for all of these rows and come back. And as you can see that within seconds, it got generated for all the rows that we have. It says successfully processed all records. And even if you had like 100 of these rows, it would have taken less than maybe 5 or 10 minutes at max. So if you're not happy with, for example, this output, you can just delete it and then click on the run button again, and it will regenerate the output where this is empty. This field is empty. So let me click on it and you can see that it will generate immediately. It will not affect where the output is already present. It only generates where the output is empty. For example, if all the fields are already generated and if I still click on this run button, the script will immediately get completed. For example, let's click on it and completed. And you can use any other models as well. For example, let's go to the settings and select any other model. This time I want to use O4 mini. So I can select that. Let's delete these two fields and then click on the run button and it should generate the output. Yes, this is the output. And yeah, this is the output, action items, and so on. So this is how it works. And you are not limited to using only ChatGPT or OpenAI. You have other scripts as well. For example, Anthropic's Cloud, Gemini, Perplexity, Grok, DeepSeek, and so on. So yes, this is how you can connect ChatGPT to your Airtable base. I'll put the link to the script in the description below. You can get it from there. So that's it for the video and see you in the next video.